Hi everyone, welcome to the Movieception Show. My name is Fareeb, and today we got a beautiful gift of a amazing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer. Before I even go into doing my reaction video, I know I haven't done a reaction video for the actual holiday special yet. I still haven't seen it yet, and that's just because I've been super busy. For one thing with work, but then another thing is that, well, the World Cup is happening and I've been watching a lot more of the games. So that's been taking up a lot of my time recently. But I do hope to have my holiday special reaction trailer for that, reaction for that sometime. Maybe, who knows, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. We'll see about that. But with that being said, the trailer for Volume 3 has dropped. So that means that we're getting close to kind of diving more into phase 5. I know that right before that we do have Quantumania. So, but yeah, without further ado, let's watch the trailer reaction for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
We were gone for quite a while. But no matter what happens next, the galaxy still needs its guardians. Hello! We come in peace.
Oh my!
Drax, seriously, dude? No!
Wow, Drax.
Don't forget where we came from.
We have been running
Oh, yeah, there's
our
one.
whole lives. Pete, I'm done running. We'll all fly away together. One last time. Into the forever. That beautiful sky.
Okay. Hey, we just. Oh!
And we'll kill anyone who gets in our way.
No, not kill anyone.
Kill a few people.
Kill no people.
Kill one guy, one stupid guy who no one loves.
Now you're just making it sad.
That was the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and what a way to really just create this. I mean, for one thing, it really starts off really funny, of course, with like Drax just being Drax, right? But I think one of the things that really kind of got my attention is that this seems to be a very emotional movie. I mean, for the Guardians, we know that even the fact that they are a very funny team, there's also something a lot deeper to their story, something that makes it a bit more emotional, like especially for one part, like Peter Quill's, story about his mother and how she passed away from cancer, and we've also seen kind of the sister dynamic between Gamora and Nebula. We've seen how each of the Guardians, as much as the fact that they are outlaws, they all have their own personal stories, and we've seen that throughout not just just the Avenger movies, but we've seen that in both the Guardians in the films, and now we're seeing this in the third and final Guardians film, and we know that this is going to be the final Guardians of the Galaxy movie, at least under James Gunn's direction, because he has mentioned that this is supposed to kind of be their swan song in a sense, where this is just their last time being together, and that's exactly the type of message that we're getting out of this trailer, is that they're kind of going in one less gun blazing as a team, and that's something that you're really getting a lot of from this trailer, especially in one part where we're seeing a lot with Rocket, which I'm about to go deep into in a second, but from the trailer itself, it seems like there's going to be a good mesh of humor, but also it's going to be one of the more emotional, impactful film that we're probably going to get out of this film, especially because it's going to be phase 5. I think this is going to be the second phase 5 movie right after Quantumania, so that means that there's going to be a lot going on. Not sure how this is going to lead up to the multiverse, not sure how if we're going to see any of these characters return after the film, because again, this is supposed to be the final Guardians of the Galaxy film, at least under Gunn's direction. But just from the trailer itself, I'm really getting a lot of that vibe out of this. But yeah, so for the most part, we finally got footage of Gamora. I haven't seen, and before I even go into it, I haven't seen the holiday special again, so I'm not sure if she showed up or not. But here we finally see Gamora. It looks like she has been on her own, but at some point it seems as if she does reunite, or I guess unite, because she doesn't really know them, but she at least somehow teams up with them at some point. That's what I'm seeing a lot of in this trailer. So I wonder how how her appearance will impact kind of what's going to happen later on this film. But I think the one thing that really got my attention is the amount of focus on Rocket Raccoon. Just because like he's just because I think when you look at him, we know that he's a very, very, complex character. For one thing, yeah, he's just an outlaw. He's just a raccoon who can talk. But also we know, like, for him, his story's a bit deeper because of the fact that, he used to be experimented on. He was just a lab experiment, and he does have a bit of that scar within him that really hits him really deep, which is probably why he's Rocket that we know today. And now in this trailer, I see a lot more of this focus on Rocket Raccoon, where he actually has a bit more of a spotlight, which I'm assuming is going to be a big part of this film. And maybe it's even possible that just from the footage itself, that a lot of what's going to happen in this film is going to be revolved around Rocket from the looks of it, just because, again, the amount of footage that we're seeing of him, like, for one thing, his backstory of when he was a child and he was tested on. Another things that we're seeing, it looks like he's having his own, love interest in a sense. I believe that was a otter, maybe? I don't know. They look like a small clawed otter, so I'm not sure about that. I will go back and see, but it looked like there was another talking animal that, Rocket seems to have befriended, so that's going to be another big question. But for the most part, there was definitely a couple of scenes where we do see a very beat up Rocket, so I wonder if we're going to have some really, really sad moments. Mostly, like, I'm anticipating there's going to be a possible death in this situation. Maybe more so, like, Rocket might not be in the clear. So I have a lot of questions about that. That's just some of the things that I've kind of caught in this trailer as of the moment. But yeah, again, it's only a 90-second trailer, so there isn't really a lot to go through. And I think one of the things I do appreciate about this trailer is it doesn't really give off too much, because I really don't know what the plot is in a sense, or what it is about, like, aside from the fact that, it's Guardians of the Galaxy just, trying to help people, and yet they're not the most heroic type because they don't really know how to really do the job with that. But we see the chaos, we see the humor, but we also see the emotionality, and we're seeing again how the team is back together and just, like, trying to save the world in some capacity of some form. But again, just from the trailer itself, it definitely gives out the vibe that this is going to be a lot heart-wrenching. It's going to probably be a lot more heartbreaking in terms of the story they're going to tell. Again, Gamora's back, so that's going to be another huge situation that they have to deal with. I wonder what they're going to do with that. But again, for the most part, like, I wonder how they're going to I wonder how Gunn is going to, in a sense, conclude the Guardians of the Galaxy's main arc, right? How he's going to put everything together. And again, this trailer doesn't go and reveal too much. It doesn't really feel a lot in a sense anyways, but just from the footage itself, like, it's very promising from what it is. It's not as, as well put together as the Quantumania trailer. I think the Quantumania trailer has a lot more going on. I think that there was something a bit more sinister about that one than with this, but again, this one, it's like, okay, I prefer that we don't get a lot of information. I'm someone who loves to just go into a movie as blind as possible, so the fact that they even managed to put this trailer out without really spoiling anything, aside from just giving us a bit of what the tone, the pacing of the film is likely going to be, it definitely gives me a bit more hyped for the Volume 3 film, hopefully when it comes out in May. On top of this, right, I think we can't really go out without talking about the first footage of Adam Warlock. We see Will Poulter's first ever footage of Adam Warlock, and I think it's really promising. I mean, to me, he seems pretty comic accurate. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't really show too much, so I wonder what this would mean for Adam Warlock and his involvement in the movie, how, what his screen time is going to look like, just because that was the only, at least from what I recall, that's the only scene that I see of him in that trailer. So lots of questions about that. Again, I don't know anything about what's going on with Adam Warlock and his involvement with this whole film. Again, because there was only one small footage, one, quick glance of, Poulter as Adam Warlock. But that definitely got me a bit excited right there, just to finally see the first footage of him. But yeah, there isn't really much else to say about the trailer. I mean, again, it doesn't really go too deep into it, but one of the things that I do get a lot out of this trailer is the fact that it does have its humor, the humor that we've seen so far in the first two films, and even in some of the Avengers films as well. But also, it seems like this is going to be a very, very emotional one, because for one thing, that's something that James Gunn has been saying all along in the last year or so, that the screenplay that he's created for this film is going to be the most heartbreaking. I think even one of the cast members had mentioned how it made them cry. Maybe, I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me on that. But aside from that, it does give off the vibe that this is going to be an emotional final journey for the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I wonder what's going to happen. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the trailer. What do you think? Have you seen the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer? What are your thoughts? What do you think about the trailer? What kind of hints, reveals, takeaways did you get from it? And let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to like and subscribe.